what I want to talk about today is that so many people these days can say about themselves that they have a low energy level and that they easily get upset, depressed, sick or tired, and they may even feel victimized and even sometimes indifferent to life, right? All of us have these moments, that waves that comes and goes. So in previous CosmoEnergy circles, we were talking about some external reasons of it, like geopathogenic zones, lack of physical and digital detox, lack of some energetic hygiene, and how all this lowers awareness and may even lead sometimes to a loss of life purpose and meaning of life, the sensation of aliveness. But we are all lucky because we live in a very special time, and it means that we are collectively become aware of our multidimensionality, and we become aware of impact of many invisible things that we weren't able to detect with our five senses previously. And some of the things are like subtle energy fields or magnetic and torsion fields and ton of other subtle mechanisms, structures, and intelligences, and also the entities, right? So we interact with those entities daily and also nightly without, like, independently of our awareness being present or not of it. This interaction occurs anyways, and it brings us peace or war, love or hatred, bliss or suffering, and it directly impacts our life experience. So no matter what the life experience is, and if we learn how to interact with these mechanisms, we'll learn how to work with them, we not only claim the evolution stairs faster, but also make our experience more enjoyable. And this is the purpose, to make the experience enjoyable and to reach the enlightenment at the same time. So when we have these tools, why do not use it, right? So today we will continue talking about egregores. And you can find part 1 and 2 of conversations about egregores in my earlier videos on YouTube channel, Eve Soboleva. So this world we are living now has a certain laws and patterns of interaction between species, and our evolution depends on recognition and also consideration of these laws, right? Every patterns on a lower level of evolution, they all exclusively instinctual. Animals, as an instance, don't worry too much if they are safe for the next decade and if they won't get married or will not make babies. It's just happening based on instincts. And the next level of evolution is the mental patterns and mental laws. And this is where we are now, collectively. There are some other patterns, such as becoming aware that you're aware, and some other higher dimensional recognition. We won't go there today, but definitely in some of the next sessions, we will start dwelling towards the higher patterns of creation and its similarity with our own system and structure. And I bet you can agree that the experience we are all collectively processing now is basically breaking through old mental patterns. And somebody does it very easily. Someone is getting a brutal breakdowns. But depending on the strength of our self-identity with the egregores that we are plugged into, we can identify where we are at, if it's a positive experience or it's a brutal. And that's why today we will be talking about how to identify the egregores that you're plugged into and loosen the tights and have your energy back. So I offer that we quickly go through the basics about the egregores, and I want to share I want to share my presentation with you. So let's quickly go through what is the egregor. Egregor is a subtle entity. It's a subtle energy informational structure which has a psychic and astral body, and it's a group of two or more. The smallest egregor example is a family, as the biggest could be on our level some world organization such as World Health Organization of United Nations and so on. And what defines egregor? It's a list of common beliefs, behavior patterns, professional slang, rituals that are subconsciously impacting every single member of the egregor. So you understand that you can be plugged into many different types of egregors. It can be sports club and political party and yoga studio or the book readers club or fashion brand or automobile brand or music band. This is all the types of egregors that are present on our planetary level, and they can interact within each other, and they all are consist of our energy that we're giving to these egregors. So what are the properties of the egregors? Egregors don't have an intelligence like the higher intelligence, because it's a program that is embedded into the structure of our planetary system. It's a self-regulating mechanism, self-managing mechanism that is managing types of the structure of the consciousness of the beings like us humans, until we are developing our own conscious perception of not only us ourselves as a species, but also the entire universe, and we'll meet ourselves as the absolute beings. So what egregors are made for, they help to produce the experience. Mean that when you come in to this life with your certain karma, it helps you to work it out, and this experience, when you collect the certain experience, it serves the evolution of yourself, because as you realize the mechanisms, how this egregors work and how this life works, your soul is going to evolution steps. So the entire idea is the evolution of consciousness of us as a species. That's why we have egregors. And so the rules of egregors. These rules are unwritten, and you have to be really devoted to the rules of the egregors, to those beliefs and rituals. We do this unconsciously, because as you enter the egregor, you unconsciously start to think on behalf of the egregor, and your behavior becomes protective to the group, and also your beliefs are subconsciously, you cannot recognize it, but it is the beliefs of the egregor, the group that was forming and working on a certain ideology. And so another rule is that egregor works for you the more you work for the egregor. And so the more you're devoted to it, the more it gives you, and vice versa. If you're trying to redirect your energy to something else, it doesn't give you too much of inspiration. So you need to be really consistent in interaction and service to egregor. Otherwise, the emotion type will switch to not that positive, and you will not feel that much inspiration, and you will the type of energy that the egregor will start extracting from you will become negative. The energy exchange with egregor. Being this astral entity, egregor is taking our psychic energy. It's a fuel for the egregor. it consumes the energy of humans' emotions, and as it doesn't have an intelligence, then egregor doesn't care if the emotions that you have are good or bad. But what it gives, egregor gives protection, um, and for example, the protection that is controversial to egregors, that is egregors to egregors enemies. So it protects you from influence of other egregors and people that are beyond this belief system. And it also gives you the access to information, and it gives you the feeling of self-worth and feeling of belonging. For example, if you're become a club member and some leader of this or organization is giving you a lot of information, some insider information, and sharing the secrets that make a huge difference in your life, and raising up your self-esteem, and you maybe your earnings goes up, then you feel the energy of the egregor. And it also gives you a material and physical and spiritual well-being. But the thing that lower level egregors don't provide mental well-being, as you're unaware that you're processing the thought forms that are produced by ideology of the egregor. And sometimes you're ready to die by defending and protecting your truth, which is, of course, not yours. But higher level egregors, they're not cycled onto themselves. So they're giving you much more freedom in this case.